Hi guys, so as for, I think this is going to be probably the last video in my back to school series. We'll just see if I think of anything else or not. But I'm going to be doing an everyday high-end makeup tutorial. After I did my drugstore one, it was requested for me to do a high-end one, so that's what I'm going to do. Yeah, real quick, the brushes I'm using are not going to be high-end because I only have like 2 high-end brushes and they're both eyeshadow brushes and I don't really like either of them, and they came with palettes. And also, ignore my eyebrows. I know they're super overgrown, so I apologize. And one more thing, also, the foundation and concealers that I'm going to be using do not match my current skin tone, and I know that. They are too light for me right now. This is the darkest I've ever been in my life, believe it or not. So my other ones are really going to make me look really pale, but just pretend that they do match me because I don't have that are high end. So first thing I'm going to do is set my face with the Urban Decay De-Slick Spray. I honestly don't, I should have closed my mouth. Don't feel like it does that much, but it does help a little bit. As for foundation, I'm going to be using the Makeup Forever HD foundation. This one is in shade 115, which did match me before. It's the second lightest shade that they have, but right now it is way too light for me. Just going to dab it on. And I'm just going to use the e.l.f. powder brush to blend it out. For concealer, I'm going to be using 2 from MAC. One of them is the Studio Finish Concealer. I'm an NW15. Well, I used to be anyway. This one comes in like a little pot, and I love this one for covering up big blemishes or for under the eyes, which I'm going to use it for because I have insane dark circles. The other one is the Pro Longwear Concealer. This one I think is great for covering lots of surface area. Like if you have like a cluster of breakouts like I kind of do, I think it's really good for that. Or if you have a lot of redness like I kind of do too. I just buff that out with a brush again. So to set that, I'm using another MAC thing. It's the MAC MSF Natural. I love this powder because it does have a nice sort of sheen to it, so you don't look oily or anything, but you do look more natural than just using a regular translucent powder. And it also has a bit of coverage in it, so if you have really bad dark circles or redness like I kind of do in my skin, it helps cover it up just the little bits that the concealer and foundation didn't get. And this, by the way, is the EcoTools bronzer brush. It works really, really well with it, I think. For blush and bronzer, I'm going to be using the Too Faced Leopard Love palette. This doesn't really get much love from me anymore, but here's what it kind of looks like. It has bronzer, blush, and highlight in it, which is really nice. And it's pretty small, so you could actually take this with you. And it has a mirror in it, which is nice. For bronzer, it's the Peach Leopard, by the way, that's the bronzer in it, which is that one. And I'm just going to put this kind of on like my temples, down to like my cheekbones, and a little bit as like a slight contour. I'm not going to go super crazy with it. Also across the forehead, nose, and a little bit on the chin. The blush in here is the Candy Leopard, which is just really pink looking, but it has lighter pinks in it too to kind of dilute it. Since I have a square face, I put it right on the apples of the cheeks and back a little bit, but you should put it different places depending on your face shape. And then I'll just take the Pink Leopard, which is just like the highlight, and I'll put this just across the cheekbones, up to the temple really slightly because I don't like doing dramatic highlight during the day or anything. And a little bit down the nose. And I'm going to set that again with the De-Slick Spray. I mean, they also have, if you have dry skin, they have one called Do Me, which is moisturizing, which is the one I actually need because I have really dry skin, but for some reason I have this. And then if you have like normal skin, they have one called All Nighter, which is just for setting in general. And I'm so dumb, I actually forgot to use face primer, but I was going to use the Benefit That Gal primer, which is just a brightening primer. I really like it a lot, but I completely forgot to use it. Oopsies. Now that we move on to the eyes, I'm going to use the Too Faced Shadow Insurance as my eye base. And my phone is going off, of course. And you just need a really small amount. This is actually too much for one eye, so I'm just going to dab a little bit on each one. And blend it out. I actually don't have any high-end eyebrow products, so even though mine look crazy, I really can't do them. For eyeshadow, obviously this is probably a given. I'm going to be using the Urban Decay Naked. I couldn't decide between the Naked and Naked 2. I also thought about using a Too Faced palette that I have that I really like, but I feel like a lot more people have this one. So my absolute favorite everyday look, which is not dramatic at all, is taking either Naked or Buck or a mixture of the two, which I'm going to do, and then putting Sidecar over it. So it just is really, not really natural looking, but it's just really simple and not crazy, not a lot of steps to it. I just put it all over the lid. And then I take Sidecar with the same brush and I just put it over top of it, just to add a little bit of shimmer and shine, make it a little more interesting. Then I'm just going to blend that out to make the lines not so harsh. For eyeliner, I'm going to do a black liquid liner. Normally I would be using the Urban Decay 24/7 waterproof liquid eyeliner in Perversion, but it's basically gone and it only has a few uses left, so honestly I don't really want to like waste it on a tutorial. So instead I'm going to be using the Lime Crime Uniliner in Quill, which is also pretty nice. It's probably my second favorite high-end liquid liner, but the Urban Decay one's definitely my favorite. I'm just zooming you in just a little bit. So I'm just going to do like a slight little flip with it. And then kind of just bring it in. And fill it in. Was that even in frame? Probably not, sorry. And then I think it's easier if you keep your eye open and then just kind of fill in the inside. And then finally for eyes, I'm going to go with mascara. I'm going to use the Benefit Bad Gal Lash because it's one of my favorite high-end mascaras. I have like, I want to say like 6 or 7, but this one's one of my favorites. I know my eyebrows look awful, just ignore those, I'm sorry. And then finally for lips, I'm gonna use the, what is this? The Fresh Sugar Lip Treatment with SPF 15. It's just like the clear one or whatever. Yeah. Ew. I don't really like these at all. No. And then finally I'm just going to use a MAC lipstick. I wasn't really sure what shade to use. I have 8 of these and I really like them, but I don't know, I just figured this would be a good everyday shade. And this one is called Hue and it's a glaze finish. And it's just this really pretty pink, light shimmery, not shimmery, but like a light glossy pink color. And as you can see, I kind of broke it. It actually fell off, so whatever, it still works. And this one's nice too because it is a glaze finish. It's kind of like shimmery. You don't need a lip gloss with it, which is really nice. Oh god, my neighborhood's scary. Oh, it won't go back down. Oh god, first world problems. Alright guys, so this is my high-end, everyday, back-to-school makeup tutorial, and I hope you guys liked it. And I will leave pictures below of everything and of my face so you guys can see. And thank you so much for watching. I hope you liked it. Bye guys!